Go get 'em.
Whether you've been binge-watching your whole life or recently slid into the habit, some shows are just perfect to mainline as quickly as possible. If you're scrolling through streaming and wondering, what show should I watch? Diced Up has put together a handy list of our favorite shows to binge-watch on Netflix, Hulu, Max, Disney+, Prime Video, and more. From Succession and Suits to Stranger Things and Breaking Bad, here are the best shows to binge-watch, and where to watch them. One Day, based on the David Nicholls novel of the same name, is a British television series that premiered in 2024 on Netflix. The show was ordered by the streamer in 2021 and tells the story of Emma and Dexter, who meet on the night of their graduation from university. The only problem is they have to part ways the next day, but they can't stop thinking about one another. The year is 1988, but we get to watch Emma and Dexter over the next 20 years on the same day of every year, July 15th. The show stars Leo Woodall as Dexter and Ambika Maud as Emma. The series also co-stars Amber Grapey, Brendan Quinn, Johnny Weldon, and Tim McInerney. Number 2, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Created by and starring Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith tells the story of two spies thrown together to work for a mysterious organization. The catch: they must pretend to be husband and wife while they do so. Co-starring Maya Erskine, Mr. and Mrs. Smith features fun appearances by Paul Dana, Alexander Skarsgård, Sharon Horgan, and Ron Perlman. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is based on the 2005 film of the same name starring Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. When the original film premiered, it was a huge hit and was the biggest box office success for both Jolie and Pitt. So far, Glover and Sloane's take on the show is experiencing similar success, with audiences enjoying their take on the story. Number 3, Avatar: The Last Airbender. Co-created by Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, Avatar: The Last Airbender is a universally beloved animated series centering on a young boy on a mystic quest to bring peace to his world. Taking place in a magical universe where some people are gifted with the ability to manipulate elements, Avatar: The Last Airbender is an unexpectedly sophisticated series that features the talents of unforgettable voice actors, including Zach Tyler Eisen, D. Bradley Baker, and Grey Griffin, as well as icons Mark Hamill and Dante Bosco. The Last Airbender has built a legacy that holds strong. Blending epic action with whimsical fantasy and peppered with humor and heart, and also inspired a rich universe that will continue to inspire spin-offs and remakes for generations to come. Number 4, Life Below Zero. If you need to feel better about the winter weather, Life Below Zero will certainly do the trick. Now in season 21, the show follows the lives of those living off the land in remote areas of Alaska. Produced by BBC, the show has had over 200 episodes. The show focuses on Sue Aikens, the only resident of the Kavik River Camp, Glenn Villeneuve, who lives alone in Chandler, Chip and Agnes Hailstone, along with their 7 children as they live only 19 miles from the Arctic Circle, Jesse Holmes, who is a hunter, fisherman, and dog sled racer who lives with no one but his 40 sled dogs. Andy Bassick living with his 25 sled dogs, Eric and Martha May Salatane who live in Wiseman, Alaska, and Rico DeWild, who lives in a remote cabin in Husula, Alaska. Number 5, The Great British Bake Off. The Great British Bake Off is a phenomenon. Originally premiering on BBC Two, the GBBO moved to BBC due to its popularity, then signed a 3-year deal after its 7th season to move to Channel 4 in the UK. Each season of the show features a group of amateur bakers who compete against one another in different rounds, hoping to wow the 2 judges of the show. One by one, contestants are eliminated until there is one winner left. Like the show's habit of changing channels, there has also been a continual rotation of judges. The current judges are Paul Hollywood, an English celebrity chef, and Prue Leith, a South African restaurateur and author. Fans across the world eat up this heartwarming series, and it's not hard to see why. Number 6, The Traitors. From the setting to the fashion to the interior design, The Traitors is one of the most stunning reality shows you will ever watch. Host Alan Cumming is perfect for the role of host who says everything with a foreboding tone of voice while looking fabulous, and he makes the show all the more watchable, even if you're not familiar with the contestants, all of whom come from previous reality shows like The Bachelor and Survivor. Based on the Dutch series De Verraders, The Traitors is like a childhood game of Mafia to the max, as a small group of players within the bunch is secretly marked as traitors and eliminates contestants one by one without revealing their deceit. Those who aren't traitors are faithfuls, whose job it is to figure out who the traitors are to win the grand prize. Number 7, Law and Order, SVU. Premiering in 1999, Law and Order, SVU was the first spin-off to come from the original Law and Order. In 2019, it became the longest-running primetime live-action series on U.S. television. Created by Dick Wolf, who also created the original Law and Order, the show follows the Special Victims Unit, which is a squad of detectives in the NYPD who investigate sexually related crimes. Lead actress Mariska Hargitay is the only cast member who has been around since the pilot episode of the series and stars alongside Kelly Giddish, Ice-T, and Peter Scannavino. Creator Wolf was inspired to create the show after the infamous trial of Robert Chambers, who claimed he accidentally strangled a woman during a consensual act. However, he was later convicted of murder. Wolf was intrigued by what would make a person behave this way, and thus, SVU was born. Now renewed for its 25th season, the show has no plans to slow down. Number 8, The Office. Comfort food for the eyes, The Office is a show I may or may not have been watching before writing this. Based on the UK show of the same name. Starring the incomparable Steve Carell as Michael Scott, the show is packed with now household names, thanks to its success. This impressive list includes John Krasinski, Mindy Kaling, Jenna Fisher, Angela Kinsey, Ed Helms, Ellie Kemper, and Rashida Jones, just to name a few. With a weekly estimate of 5.7 million viewers, the show then became Netflix's most popular show, with 57 billion minutes streamed in 2020, according to Variety. Now streaming on Peacock, the show is a staple in American television history and culture, and you will see at least one person this week walking around in some Dunder Mifflin or other office-themed garb. Number 9, Friends. A 10-season sitcom, the show centers on a group of 6 friends in their 20s and early 30s, all residing in the vibrant heart of Manhattan, New York City. Friends has earned a reputation for being a timeless and heartwarming show that continues to resonate with multiple generations of viewers. This enduring appeal is not only because of its humor, which is marked by numerous iconic quotes as well as consistent relatability and the valuable life lessons it imparts through the characters' impulsive decisions. Stars Matthew Perry, Lisa Kudrow, and Courtney Cousins. Its iconic fashion choices and music continue to influence viewers even in the present day. Number 10, Suits. Widely regarded as some of the 21st century's best television series, Suits follows college dropout Mike Ross, played by Patrick J. Adams, who, after a drug deal goes wrong, ends up accidentally landing a job interview with one of New York City's best lawyers, Harvey Specter, Gabriel Macht. Throughout 9 gripping seasons, Mike and Harvey's unlikely winning formula shoots them to the very top of their game, with their newfound partnership not just bettering them professionally but as people. The chemistry between the main characters, particularly Mike and Harvey, is captivating, making every scene they're in, which is a lot, absolute gold. Created by Aaron Korsh, Suits is quite simply a must-watch television. Number 11, Succession. Spanning 5 years and 4 very successful seasons, Succession follows the now famous Roy family, heads of the biggest media conglomerate in the world. Devoid of all redeeming qualities, the family will use anything within their reach to not just keep their names at the top but extend their lead. By fighting, cheating, and outwitting their opposition, can the Roy family ever be stopped in their malevolent pursuit to conquer? Through tight scripts and superb ensemble acting, the heights of global business are scrutinized for all their worst values through a family thriving thanks to their lack of morals. With the likes of Brian Cox and Jeremy Strong excelling, the true charm of Succession arguably comes from just how morally bankrupt and unlikable almost everyone is in the same sort of sadistic way horror movies keep you glued despite the terror. Number 12, Sex Education. One of Netflix's flagship shows, Sex Education follows a teenager who, following in the footsteps of his sex therapist mother, sets up a sexual health clinic at his school. Over 4 seasons, Otis and his friends navigate the trials and tribulations often associated with adolescent life as they go from anxious teens to full-fledged adults, culminating in their final year at school. Throughout 4 seasons, what was once a relatively unknown cast became household names thanks to incredible performances. Oozing with angst and bursting at the seams with comedy, Sex Education thrives by not just being a standout example of why teen dramas are so successful but also breaking boundaries in the discussion of sexuality, proving itself to be a trailblazer in modern media. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Diced Up and be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to be notified of all our latest videos.